So where do pirates get their hooks from? The second-hand store. Get it? Because he lost his hand.
Perfect.
Now I know January is pretty slow in terms of the sneaker game, but this year it has been almost dead. Don't get me wrong, there are some drops where I've liked the look of them, but at the same time I don't really love them. And the pair that we're looking at today is one I think didn't really need to happen. On today's episode, we are having a look at the Jordan 1 High True Blue. So Jordan brand really did finish strong last year, the likes of the Lost and Founds and of course the Year 4s. Not to forget some solid drops like the Midnight Navies, the Military Blacks as well. And the return of the OG, the Jordan 3 Fire Red. A great year last year, but this year being 2023, of course the whole number with Jordan wearing 23 and all, I'm really hoping they pull out all the stops. And the one I know a lot of you have been waiting for, the Jordan 3 White Cements, they're coming out in March and I cannot wait. And speaking of Jordan 3s, the Jordan 1 True Blue shares its name with the Jordan 3 True Blue because it is inspired by it. And in this video, I'm going to touch on all the reasons why I feel like they should have left this one alone. But before we get into why this one isn't being true to the True Blue 3s, of course, we'll take a look at the box. Now yes, this review might be a bit harsh, but one of the best things about the shoe, if not the best thing, is the box. The color scheme to the OG layout of the box of course coincides with the actual colorway. We've seen it with the likes last year with the Jordan 1 Taxis. One thing I will say though, I really wish they put the same color on the box on the actual shoe. The box color scheme is just that tad bit darker than the actual shoe itself. Now this shoe does come with a spare set of white laces, so if you didn't like the blue pair that it came with, of course you've got the option to swap out. But other than that, the product sticker does say Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG and the official colorway is True Blue, White Cement and Grey. Now this is officially the most expensive we've ever seen a Jordan 1 High, £165, and that price hike is a little too steep. I guess it's just what inflation does. Near enough every shoe by Nike has gone up. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons these are actually still sitting. Now in terms of sizing with the Air Jordan 1 True Blue, this is pretty much a true to size fit. When it comes to a Jordan 1, whether it's a low, high or even a mid, I've never had any problems in that department. So if I can offer any advice, I would say go true to size. Now before we do compare this sneaker to the Jordan 3 True Blue, let's take an up close and personal look to see what this sneaker is actually about. Now even though I'm not the biggest fan of this shoe, there are some things I do actually like. I am really a fan of that color combo with that blue, white and grey. Of course, Nike claiming it is in reference to the Jordan 3 True Blue is kind of a missed opportunity. Of course, it's pretty much a classic Jordan 1 in terms of the shape and styling. On the overlays, we do have that blue with the Nike swoosh there too. Of course, the underlays being in white, the leather panels aren't that great, I'll be honest. Especially comparing it to the gorge greens I picked up late last year. Crazy how that sneaker got no hype whatsoever, but the materials are actually pretty decent. Now for me, the blue laces do work a little bit better than the whites, but at the same time, both could work well. The white nylon tongue though does return here to the Jordan 1 with of course that blue panel at the top with the Nike Air. The blue does also return to the sock liner, and then we have that white insole with the blue Nike Air. Now one of the best panels on this shoe in my opinion is that nubuck finish to the grey panels. And that part is meant to be the whole elephant print on the Jordan 3 and I can't really see it. I do get where they're coming from, but at the same time if you want to put the elephant print on, just put the elephant print on. But just like 99.9% of Jordan 1s, we do have that Air Jordan Wings logo on the lateral sides. And for me it does really work well with the grey here. Now the midsole is as traditional as it gets, of course it is in white. And again, in reference to the Jordan 3, we do have that grey outsole, which does actually work. Right broskies, before we get into the buy or buy section, now's the time we actually compare the Jordan 3 True Blue to the Jordan 1. Now being a part of the original pack to the Jordan 3s, the True Blue is one of the best colorways on the silhouette. I've actually got a pair from 2016 and it is one of my favourite Jordans ever. I do feel there are a lot of missed opportunities on the Jordan 1 version though. The things like the lack of red on the shoe, the Jordan 3 has so much on it and that would have made the Jordan 1 pop so much more. For me, if they was to put any sort of red on the shoe, it could have been on the tag just on top of the tongue where the Nike Air sits. I won't get too much into the leather quality because the leather they used to use in 2016 is nowhere near to be seen at the moment. But overall, in terms of comparisons, of course, for me anyway, the Jordan 3 triumphs so much ahead. Partly because it is such a classic shoe and partly because I'm more of a Jordan 3 person than a Jordan 1. But I just feel the colour blocking in itself is way better on the Jordan 3 anyway. And yes, there's better materials and I won't even touch on the comfort because the Jordan 3 is miles ahead. Now one other thing as well, the Jordan 3 actually has a darker shade of blue. And I just feel if this Jordan 1 used that same shade of blue, these would have popped so much more. The blue panels on the Jordan 1 is just a little too light for me. Right, this whole Jordan 1 is of course based off the Jordan 3, but I'm gonna have to put that aside. Putting them side by side, in my head, there's only one winner, but as its standalone sneaker, I can appreciate it. It is a clean colorway, but when you're coming from the likes of the Jordan 1 Lost and Found and even the Gorge Greens, which I really liked, it's kind of a hard follow-up. Personally, if Jordan and Nike did wait a little bit longer, maybe released it later on in the year, I do think these would have got a little bit more love. But releasing this sneaker at 165 quid, and of course being in January as well, where people are broke from Christmas, it wasn't a good move. But hey, I'm just a fan, I'm no Alan Sugar. What do I know? But you know what, comparisons to the Jordan 3 aside, and of course the price as well, I have to say I do like these more than I should. I will say though, it's not a sneaker I'm in love with enough to keep these in the personal collection. I just think the timing's off and being inspired by the actual Jordan 3 True Blue, they miss so many opportunities. It is a lovely colorway to an iconic silhouette, but it just doesn't do enough for me. But anyways broskies, that's just my opinion. I want you to let me know what you think down below. Was this a pair that you copped at retail, or was this an absolute miss? Leave it all down below and I will pin the best comments. Anyways broskies, that is enough waffle from me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and till the next episode, take care.